Steve Nash never won a championship. Joel Anthony did, however, twice with the Miami Heat, and he joins us on video chat today. Newest member of the Hamilton Honey Badgers front office. How you doing, Joel? Thanks for joining us.
Doing good, Rod. Thanks for having me.
So much to get through with you. And before we go through your very colorful NBA story in basketball history, the thing that I'm dying to ask is, what made you want to get into personnel in the CEBL and as a consultant with the Honey Badgers?
Well, one of the main things was timing. I just recently retired this year from basketball, so with some more time on my hand, I wanted to really just find a way to give back to the game and to be able to to continue to be around it and to be able to help a team in a different form. So I'm good friends with Jermaine Anderson, who's the GM right now with the Honey Badgers, and we've talked a lot and have kept in communication and have done some work together. And just in terms of basketball, with helping out, assisting with the Raptors 905 a little bit, just unofficially at the side. So it just kind of worked itself out like that, where he once he took the job, was someone that who's really looking towards coming down and being able to help those guys out. So it was really almost a no-brainer for me, just with the opportunity to be able to do that.
Well, good for you, because not so many guys want to give back at this point in their career. So I automatically respect you. But for those that don't know, we mentioned two-time NBA All-Star, but a lot of time with the Miami Heat and some big contracts with the Heat, by the way. Celtics, Pistons, Spurs, and just wrapped up with Sam Lorenzo. But I just got to ask you, how did you get from Montreal to lining up beside Dwayne Wade with the Miami Heat and being undrafted, by the way? It tells me that you are a worker.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of patience. My story just, I'm pretty fortunate when I get a chance to look back on it, especially now, finally being done playing, getting a chance to look back on it and just, taking the time to appreciate the journey that I was able to go on. I wasn't able to do it, completely on my own. I had a lot of people that were there to help and support me. And from Montreal, not a lot of people, especially back then, were able to really have an opportunity to play high level, really high level basketball. And so I definitely understand how fortunate I've been, how blessed I've been to be able to get this far.
From our viewers, if you don't mind taking a couple of viewers' questions. From our intern, Alan,
Sure.
The Asian sensation. He says, hey, Joel, did you know who wanted to do the Harlem Shake with the Heat during your time?
Yeah, it was mostly Braun's idea. So we're coming back from a flight, and we saw, I think it was the Raptors that had done the last one. A couple of teams had been doing it. It started to really turn into a thing. And so after seeing the last video, we all decided, look, like, this is something that we all wanted to get into. So by the time the plane landed, everyone had a plan. We're going to make sure we had a little camera crew come down to film it. Guys were going to make sure they go to Party City that day or whatever to get whatever they needed for costumes, and we're just going to get it done. So we went a little bit earlier before practice and just got that done. But it was pretty much his idea to want to really do it, but everyone just really jumped on board because it was just something that was going to be fun for us to be able to do.
That is a close-knit team right there, and which kind of rolls into our next question. Brady writes in and says, what was it like playing with LeBron, and how does he compare as a leader to MJ? Obviously, you watched The Last Dance. Do you see any similarities there?
Yeah, definitely. Just the desire to want to, like, to want to be able to win, at all costs, and really to want to be great. He's someone that once you're around him, you're really able to see. Obviously, as someone on the outside looking in at first, you're able to see how talented he is and his drive. But being around someone like that every day, you're really able to see what how far he goes. The amount of time he takes into taking care of himself. Physically, mentally, where he is in terms of just being out of unrealistic level, IQ wise, in terms of how he thinks about the game. Um, and I think they're both of their demands for wanting to really be great and wanting to play not just themselves personally, but wanting their team to play at the highest level. I think that's one of the biggest comparisons I could see between the two.
We mentioned to our viewers that you're a two-time NBA champion, but this is the second burning question I have for you. You played in the 2011 NBA Finals, averaged 20 points a game or 20 minutes a game on the court, but you guys lost to Dallas. What did you learn in that with LeBron? What did you learn that propelled you to 2 championships the next 2 years?
It was really the experience of just going through that for some of us. It was our first NBA Finals. But it was our first as a group. One of the most difficult things is to be able to put a team together and go straight to the championship. Go straight to the championship and win it. Boston was able to pull that off, but most teams do take time. So after that first year, we were still trying to figure things out. But I feel after that first year, and on top of that, we had a lockout. You remember right after that. So we're kind of sitting on that loss for a pretty long time, which made it worse. But I think in terms of the motivation and understanding of once we came back together, we had all that experience. We were gelling a lot better, and also we were we understood what we had to do, but I feel we're more desperate in terms of trying to understand we had to win. It was really about winning now. And, that was always the goal, but it became so much more important that second year because we had that experience together, because we had that time. And at that point, we knew what we had to do. And we truly felt that it was definitely our time.
That is a fascinating answer. And now it's a flood of questions have come in. I'm going to combine 2 into 1, and then we'll let you go, Joel, okay? John in Winnipeg wants to know what was it like to play under Coach Pat Riley, and Trevor wants to know what was it like being teammates with Chris Birdman Anderson. Can you answer both of those?
Yeah. Well, playing for Pat, that was for me, to have my first for him to be my first NBA coach. As a rookie, was definitely, special for me. His, basically everything that he is and that he embodies as a coach, as an individual, you could see it throughout that organization. So, getting to understand who he is, even after he left my first year and, solely, focused on being team president. You could really see like how influential he was, he is on that organization. And, for me to be able to learn from that and have that to be my blueprint, my guide, once I, got into the NBA, it was, it really something that really changed my life. So, definitely happy, to have been able to play for someone like that, a Hall of Fame coach like that. And in terms of Bird is definitely one of the best teammates you could ask for. Sometimes I don't know if he's misunderstood, but definitely. I actually first met him when I was first coming out of school. We were playing over in Las Vegas and it was he was just so, it's really hard to explain a little bit, but He's just someone that you definitely always want to be around. Like once you get to know him, he definitely has an understanding for a game. Someone that really helped me out even when I was just a kid out of college, trying to make it to the league. And he didn't know me. He was actually trying to get back into the NBA as well. And so once we were able to be teammates together, he's someone that you could always go to battle with every day, 24/7.
Well, Joel, this has been absolutely outstanding. We're big CEBL fans, Saskatchewan Rattlers, the defending champions, but I just was very excited to see that you're joining the league. You got a lot to add, so thanks for doing that, by the way, and hopefully we can do it again. Stay safe out there, and thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me, and I appreciate it.
You betcha. Joel Anthony joining us on video chat today of the Hamilton Honey Badgers. And I do love getting down with some NBA talk.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't happen very often here.
No, it doesn't, but our viewers love it. And who knew, right?
Who knew?
That it was such a big thing, that people that are so into it up here, right? You just don't see Canada and think basketball right away, but it's coming. It's turning big time with the Raptors and the Canadian content in the NBA, and Joel's a great ambassador for the game.
Two-time NBA champion, something that Steve Nash can't say. And he played a lot. Not that I don't like Steve Nash, but I'm just like, why is this guy not in the conversation?
Right. He should be.
Starting to get upset.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.